Healing your astrological wound with herbs. For this video, we are going to be focusing specifically on the Chiron placement in your natal chart. Chiron is an asteroid, and its placement represents the key wound that you are given in this lifetime to have some salt and lemon rubbed in and figure out how to heal so that you have that secret key to be able to help others. It's a bitch, but it makes you who you were born to be. Chiron is generational, so it stays in a sign for 2 to 5 years, sometimes longer, because its orbit pattern is not a perfect circle. It is an elliptic oval, which means it's shorter on the ends than it is on the sides, hence the unequal duration throughout the constellations. Most people watching this, though, will have Chiron in Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Taurus, Aries, or Pisces. But listen for your kids, listen for your parents too. Knowledge is power, and power is not meant to be hoarded. Let that shit flow. How herbs work. Everything is about vibration. Everything. All energy is vibration. All matter is composed of atoms. All atoms are composed of protons, neutrons, and electrons. And all electrons are vibrating. Yes, therefore everything is vibration. Herbs work because each herb has a distinct vibrational pattern that catalyzes a specific organ system, or tissue system in the body, if not all the juicy fluids therein. The herbs I am going to recommend to you today are all amazing and helpful. I am only telling you about them because I have taken every single one of them. There are some that I go to time and time again. The ones in Chiron and Cancer, for certain. If I say an herb that is not listed for your specific Chiron placement, but your body clings onto it, the name stirs something inside of you, an attraction, chances are you have a personal planet with that constellation, or you have heavy placements in the house ruled by that constellation, the house of that constellation. Something in your body is saying, I want that, so follow that lead. They are safe, they are readily available, and just read the instructions. Starting with Chiron in Gemini, these would be the years 1983-84 to mid-1998. Gemini rules the lungs, the nervous system, the racing thoughts that you might get, anxiety issues, and breathing issues as well. So for that, we have Elecampane. Elecampane is a flower with deep roots. It is also very good for the digestive system. And what it does is actually targets the lungs to physiologically remove sadness. I know it sounds insane. This is an ancient Chinese truth. Look it up. Elocampane. Elecampane. And gotu kola. This is something that I recommend for everyone, usually because it's very awesome for the memory, the intelligence, and the nervous system. Also makes your skin and hair look awesome. It's a cooling herb. On to Cancer. So Cancer, this is 1940 to 1941 or 1998 through 1991. And Cancer, we're going to focus on the spleen. It is an often overlooked organ, but my gosh, is it important, and you will notice a night and day difference when you start taking care of it. Cancer also rules the stomach and the breasts. So for Cancer, number 1, you need astragalus. It is a Chinese herb, and it is the only plant that actually kickstarts the spleen into action. This was life-changing for me. It looks like this. It's a root. This is what it looks like in its pure dried bark form, kind of like, you know, a giant, I don't know, cracker or a big ass communion wafer. It is amazing. If you have Chiron and Cancer, go get some now. You can also get it in powdered pill form. I like to pop the capsules open though. I don't like swallowing all that plastic because I experiment with so many of these things. And then good old ginger, powdered ginger or fresh ginger in a root that you can put into food. You can drink it, you can eat it. Get some ginger going in your stomach and digestive system. Also, if you are a little bit more on the thin side, or you tend to have a hard time putting on weight, or you know, just have digestive issues in general, fenugreek is also really good. It catalyzes breast milk if you are lactating. It's really helpful for that. Makes your hair awesome. It's a miracle for your skin and hair, actually. I actually make a mask of this for my head for dandruff, especially in the winter when my scalp dries out. I'm wearing a lot of beanies. So it's very, very helpful. Moving on to Leo. So if you have Chiron in Leo, that would be born between 1941 to 1943 or late 91 to late 1993. And Leo rules the heart, obviously, the upper back as well. We forget that our heart also has a backside and the spine. Herbs to bring out, to strengthen the Chiron in Leo would be saffron. Now, saffron is something that I take every day, not because my Chiron is there, but for I have a weak sun placement. So saffron is the power of the sun times 1,000. A little bit goes a very long way. I will usually put 1 strand in my morning tea or in whatever meal I make that day. For Leo, also, sometimes you have a hard time being soft, and chamomile is also a sun herb. So chamomile is a digestive aid. It is obviously a calming aid if you drink it as a tea. Again, any of these you can actually put into anything with hot water. So that could be tea, that could be broth, that could be, you know, you steam some vegetables and you leave a little bit of water and you want to put some of the herb on top. Maca, awesome. This is something I also take every single day. It is a Peruvian herb, and the Incan people, the Incan warriors relied on maca. It's a root, it's an adaptogen, and it tastes awesome. I drink it in my morning tea that I make. It's more like a morning sludge if you were to see all the things that I put into it. But hey, it gets me going, it makes me who I am, and I love it. Maca, it's got a malty taste. It supports balance in the body. It's energizing, it's vitalizing. Look it up, go get it, it's everywhere. Also for Leo, hibiscus. Now I'm going to recommend hibiscus for all the fire signs here because it is wonderful for circulation. All the fire signs usually have something to do with the heart or the blood. And hibiscus is a miracle for circulation and cooling. It's tropical, it's fruity, it's pleasant. It's all kinds of wonderful. Virgo. Virgo would be 1943 to 1945 or late 93 to late 1995. So Virgo rules the digestive system first and foremost. And for that, the number one thing that I would recommend is actually something I don't have. So small caveat, the Virgos are going to hate this of all people, my goodness. Glutamine. Glutamine is a magical amino acid actually that the body produces, but you can get glutamine supplements, and it is outstanding for brain health and for gut health. It can actually help heal leaky gut and help with the neurotransmitter firing. So it's I mean, the gut and the brain, they're made of the same stuff. It's the same thing, you know. Both have neurons also, and a lot of emotional mood disorders actually start because of distress in the digestive system, not up here. So I would recommend getting some glutamine. Look it up if it's piquing your interest, 100%. Also, Bacopa. Bacopa Brahmi. So it is a brother of Gotukola, or a sister, because plants, Mother Earth, female, maybe. No, there are male plants too, genetically, so that's a lie. Bacopa is part of the Gotukola family. It is also a Brahmi. And this one is a little bit heating, though. So look into that if you are a Virgo. I would also give you some fulvic acid. Fulvic acid is a miraculous concentrate of minerals and enzymes from the way ancient sea. I take it almost every day. And this is ionic from this company Trace Minerals, and they make ionic herbs, which are water soluble, and they just right into your cells. So it's really awesome. I love it. Can't recommend it enough. If you're a Virgo, for sure, get some. If your Chiron is in Virgo, I would recommend some fulvic acid. Great for your skin also, right? Because that's that immune system barrier within the body. It's really only like about 1 cell thick. So you want to make sure that you take care of that. And any permeability is going to lead you to all kinds of problems no matter who you are. Alrighty, moving on to Libra. So Libra rules the kidneys and regulates the body's water content. It also has a direct impact on the skin, and that makes sense, right? Because if you are somebody who is very dehydrated, the first place you're going to see it is in the skin. The lips are going to get very shriveled and dry. You're going to need a chapstick all the time. It just means that you probably need more water, and if you're already drinking water, you're not getting the right electrolytes in that water to actually help it fuel your body, or you're drinking ice cold water and your body actually has to work harder to warm the water up to a temperature that it can actually take it in at. So that's why I always recommend to people, number one, stop drinking ice cold water. You're not doing yourself any favors. Wow, I just lost a lot of fans with that statement, didn't I? So many people love ice cold drinks. It's this American conditioning, I tell you. Libra. Oh, yes. Calendula. We love calendula. Yes, we do. So this is actually very lovely. It's another herb. It's their flower petals. So calendula is a type of daisy. And you can steep this in hot water and make a tea. You can put it in your broth. You can add it to your food. Anything hot. Calendula is awesome. It's also made into topical paste. It's a miracle for the skin. So anything skin related, inside and outside. The lining systems of your stomach, of your esophagus, of your gut. Calendula is going to do you a lot of good. Libra would also benefit from just some good old-fashioned beautiful roses. You can make rose water actually by taking the petals from roses, from blooming roses, and just soaking them in some clean, cool water overnight. And that will be infused with the oil and the essence of the rose, and you can actually sprinkle that on your face. That's how you make rose water. You don't have to buy it online for $25. You can make it plucking petals from your neighbor's garden. They won't know. It's free. Awesome. Aloe vera, also another readily available plant, for me anyway, in the American Southwest in California. Aloe vera, you can drink it. They make aloe vera juice. It is incredibly cooling and healing for the internal system. It is incredibly hydrating, bada bing, for not only the skin on the outside, but the body systems and the organ systems on the inside. So, beauty starts from the inside out. I keep telling people vegetables make you pretty. No one seems to be listening to me. But that changes today. Moving on to Scorpio. So Scorpio rules the reproductive system and the genitals. All the nasty, dark, moist places no one likes to talk about. We're talking about them. Chiron and Scorpio would be 1947 to 1948, or late 1997 through 1999, all the way through. So closing out the millennium there. For Scorpio, we have some beautiful things here. So Ashoka, if you are a female, Ashoka powder actually is specifically designed to strengthen and tone the uterus and promote healthy menstruation. So if you're having some period issues, I would definitely look into Ashoka for sure, especially if you're on like the spotty or more irregular side. And it supports healthy ovarian and endometrial tissue. So the Vedic term Ashoka actually translates to remover of sorrow. And Scorpio is a very deep water sign, so having those deep held emotions couched in the womb, that's going to be a lot of sadness, which is going to prevent you from what? Being able to birth and be creative in your life. That sacral chakra area is going to be all kinds of blocked and messed up. So opening that up, you should see an improvement not only in your physical body, but your ability to actually create in your day-to-day life anyway. And we all want to be more creative. As human beings, we are inherently creative beings. We're here to create. And if you can't do that, then I feel very sorry for you and I would love to help you. Oh, I take this one every single day of my life. Kapikachu is the Vedic term, Sanskrit term, and you can find it in most health food stores under Mucuna pruriens, or velvet bean is also an English name for it. But it's an amazing herb for the reproductive system, both women and men. It makes you so calm because actually Kapikachu, Mucuna pruriens, velvet bean, it is the only plant source of L-dopa. L-dopa is one of the amino acids that makes dopamine. Your body needs L-dopa in order to make dopamine. So it actually gives your brain a little dopamine kick when you have it, little amounts at a time. Don't go crazy. And it also helps to just invigorate the sexual energy and hormone health. It's amazing for hormones. So why? Because dopamine is a neurotransmitter, and a neurotransmitter is necessary for regulating hormone production, right? Because it's in your brain, and all hormones begin in the brain. Your brain needs to be able to be in a good place to function correctly so that it can send out the right instructions. And so, you just got to keep following the issues down to the root. Kapikachu. Put a little bit in your morning beverage and it'll make you a much happier person on a day-to-day basis. It's my secret, so now you know. Especially for men with Chiron and Scorpio, or men suffering from some of the same creative potency issues, creative potent power access issues that I mentioned with the Ashoka for women. I would say ashwagandha for men, but you have to be kind of careful with this because ashwagandha is very heating. And if you take it without already having a pitta imbalance. If you're already kind of inflamed all the time and you have a lot of acid problems or a lot of acne issues, ashwagandha can actually aggravate those systems. But it is awesome for testosterone, it's an adaptogen. I think that's why it's everywhere right now, because people are using it as the new miracle panacea, and it is pretty great. There's a time and a place. Just make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself. But ashwagandha, great for hormones. And saffron, again. I mentioned it for Leo, but if you're a Scorpio and you're just very hard and bitter when it comes to emotions and holding on to things, holding on to pain and defining yourself by pain, saffron, the sun. What melts ice? Scorpio is fixed water, which is ice. What melts ice in the wintertime? The sun. Get yourself a little bit of saffron. And here we are, Chiron and Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the legs and the liver. So you would have Chiron and Sagittarius if you were born 1949 to 1950, or 2000 to 2001. Hello, new millennium. Look out for your liver. The number one thing I would recommend for people with Chiron and Sagittarius, or with a lot of Sagittarius placements in general, is silica. Silica is a mineral. It is an essential salt that the body needs. People born around Sagittarius season are inherently deficient in silica, or it's the thing that they tend to go deficient in easiest. And there's different ones for every sign. Another video for later. Bitters for the liver. So dandelion is awesome. I would say there's so many ways to eat dandelion. It's in your yard probably if you have grass. I wouldn't know how safe that is though, but you can buy dandelion greens in the store. They're pretty cheap. You can make a juice out of them. You can get them raw juiced. You can put them in a salad and eat them. You can roast them. You can drink it in tea. You can get powders. Dandelion is everywhere, so no excuses. For Sagittarius issues, I would also say just good old-fashioned mint. I mean, I guess for some reason Sagittarius is getting all the easy ones here. Mint is pungent and also cooling, so it'll help get things going in your system, help to clean out the blood, as will some lime water. Now, normally I recommend lemon water for everyone, but if you have, again, overinflammation, if your system needs more cooling down than heating up, especially if you eat a lot of inflammatory spicy foods, or drink a lot of alcohol, or eat a lot of like chemical things, people who smoke, also, just if there's a lot of like chemical acidic heat in the system already, lime water is going to do you better than lemon water. So I actually switched to lime water in the summertime because limes are cooling, lemons are heating. So you want that cooling effect in the blood and the system to clean it out. Limes, they're cooling because they have the bitter component to them as opposed to just the sour. Lemons are just sour. Limes actually have a bitterness, and bitterness is cooling in nature and awesome for the blood and the liver. Again, because Sagittarius is a fire sign, hibiscus. Just try it out, drink it in a tea. You won't regret it. Moving on, Chiron in Capricorn would be the year 1951 to 1954, and Capricorn rules the bones and the joints. So things that support that would be comfrey. Comfrey is available at most herbal natural wellness stores. You can get it online, any of these. It's an ancient go-to for helping to repair and set broken bones. Horsetail is also the highest plant source of silica that you can get, and you can put that in a tea so that you can drink that. Also, just regular peppermint is good for Capricorn, for that intensity, for kind of waking you up and getting you diligent and focused. Peppermint is a great focus herb, and I use it just as a essential oil. So I will smell this when I need some focused invigoration, when I need a little bit of discipline in my life. And also arnica. So arnica, I've only used it as a topical, and they make this awesome popular product now called Arnicare Gel. It's homeopathic, and you can get it in more and more places these days. But arnica is also a daisy, and it's awesome for muscle pain and stiffness. I usually end up rubbing it on my neck and shoulder area, also on the legs if you're really stiff and sore from overexertion, from working out. Also good for the joints, so you can rub it on your joints. My old boss used to use it on her knuckles a lot because she was a writer, and she would get, she used typewriters all the time. She would get arthritis in her knuckle areas, and arnica was a miracle to help her get through the day. Moving on to Aquarius. So Aquarius rules the ankles and the circulatory system. And to me, both of those are things that help with fluidity of movement. So keeping things flowing and going, which is, Aquarius is the fixed air sign. So it likes to be a little bit stubborn, but, you don't want to keep, air is not meant to be contained in still. It's meant to be, flowing in the current of the wind. Chiron and Aries would be Chiron and Aquarius, good night. Chiron and Aquarius would be 1955 through 1960. And for that, I would recommend beets. Get yourself some beets, some beet juice, some beet powder you can get now and mix it into something. But the bioflavonols in beets open up the circulatory system like nobody's business. And they are one of the quickest ways to get the body to produce more nitric oxide, which is a great muscle invigorator. And helps the circulatory system. Also, hawthorn. So hawthorn is a amazing herb for the circulatory system, for getting your blood moving. It helps to, I wouldn't say treat, but it helps to alleviate and is a good friend to have if you have cardiovascular issues, cardiovascular congestion, plaque. If you're somebody who has a history of heart disease in the family, or you feel yourself walking that line towards that end destination, look into hawthorn. Chiron in Pisces. Pisces rules the feet, obviously, but also the lymphatic system and the pineal gland. You would have Chiron in Pisces if you were born between 1961 and 1968. As you can tell, that's a bigger window than we've been discussing so far. For Pisces, B vitamins is what I would say to really stock up on. I take this version of a B complex about every other day, depending on what my food is that day. If I know I have a lot of B vitamins in the food, I'll save myself the capsule here. Also, She Legit. So if you have a lot of Pisces placements and you just feel kind of bogged down all the time and not really able to access your vitality, Pisces can get stuck in a lot of depression, especially She Legit. I would try She Legit. It's a heating herb made from there's like this is gonna sound awful, but trust me, because it's actually pretty awesome. It's a fungal tar that these monks harvest from the Himalayan mountains. And I know I just blew your mind here, but a little bit goes a very, very long way. It's actually popping up more and more in places. So She Legit, like I said, it's like this little, it comes in a capsule like this, and you pop it open, and yeah, it looks like, some sticky black goo. It gives you this little tiny spoon, like that's how much you're supposed to take. It's the tiniest spoon in the world. It's like a nail that you would hang a painting with. And you just take a little bit and you dissolve it in hot water, or you can just pop it right underneath your tongue and let it dissolve into the circulatory system that way. But if you have a lot of Pisces and you think you could use a little alleviation of some of those wishy-washy, drowned out Pisces sensations, try yourself some She Legit. For Pisces, another really helpful practice is going to be lymphatic massage, because Pisces does rule the lymphatic system, and that is the fluid, the immunity fluid that runs right underneath the skin and gets stuck in our lymph nodes. And when that gets stuck, disease can fester. Stagnant water is bad no matter where it is. It starts to attract all of the wrong things, and we want things to be flowing and going so that the body can detoxify as it's designed to. If that lymph fluid gets stuck, you are a ticking time bomb for some kind of ailment. A lymphatic massage is really easy to do on yourself. I actually have a video where I do one for the face, which is really good for cleansing emotions out of the face and emotional tension. But you can go get one professionally done at a spa if you want to treat yourself, or you can just find a video online, find an image with a map of where the lymph nodes are, and just lovingly, gently rub the lymph nodes. They're here. I know there's some here. There's some here, obviously, right underneath the jaw and throughout the body. So just lovingly rubbing your skin. It's very grounding too, because Pisces has a tendency to be a little floaty sometimes. So sometimes, most times. Moving on to Aries. This is a big one, Chiron and Aries. This would be if you were born between 1969 and 1976. So Aries rules the blood, the face, the teeth, oral health, And to me, this makes a lot of sense why the gums are a really good indicator of your cardiovascular health, because what ends up being, pumped from the heart through the arteries, for some reason, the mouth tissue is very much tied to the heart, and it's a really easy access pathway for the body. That's why a lot of things can be dissolved through the mouth right away. When you go to the dentist, that numbing stuff they put on your mouth, or also for, it's a thing I've seen in movies, but people like to rub cocaine on their gums and it gets to the heart right away. So there's a pathway there, it's connected. Anywho, for Aries, keeping the blood clean is gonna be your biggest thing, and then also benefiting your serotonin levels. So number one for that, I would say St. John's wort. St. John's wort is awesome. It's a calming thing, and it helps regulate your body's serotonin production. I take it on nights when I know I'm gonna have a hard time falling asleep. It's like one of my back pocket secrets. If I know I'm in for a night of rough sleep, or I just can't sleep. Gives me kind of weird dreams though, because it's a little bit heating. I always end up having, dreams that are a little bit more on the sexy side. That's just me, and maybe that's, an advertisement in itself for somebody to try it. Another thing I would do is bentonite clay. So bentonite clay is another thing that you can do inside and outside. Because this video is being filmed mid-January, I've actually been taking a teaspoon of bentonite clay with my lemon water in the morning every day, just as an, beginning of the year detoxification thing. And it's been doing really lovely. Like, my skin, I can feel, is really awesome. My body feels cleaner, and I'm noticing that I'm more sensitive to toxins in the air. So if there's like a smoker nearby or somebody's wearing cologne, like, my senses are really heightened to that. And I think it's because I'm just flushing the accumulated everything. You can also make a paste with it and put it on your skin topically. So it's a secret remedy, household remedy for just making your face shiny and beautiful and awesome, and taking out all the impurities from the skin. It does that inside and out. I would also recommend Amla if you have Chiron and Aries, maybe Chiron and Leo too, because it's just a good rejuvenator. It's an Ayurvedic go-to. Indian gooseberry is what it is, and it's show you the capsules here. It's like this red kind of looking stuff in here. I usually pop the capsules open like this, and then you get your herb out, and you can just crumble it in a cup of water and drink it that way. But it's a bitter herb, and it's going to clean out your blood, and it's going to help with rejuvenation and detoxification, and all that is very necessary for Aries. Tart cherry juice, I would also say, does that on another level, as does hibiscus. So pick your anti-poison. Here we are. Chiron in Taurus would be 1977 to 1983. That would be the neck and shoulders area of the body, but emotionally it has more to do with grounding and your ability to love yourself. So people with a lot of heavy Taurus placements probably have an issue with just accepting themselves for who they are and loving themselves. But don't we all? Thyme is really good. T-H-Y-M-E. I mean, we could all use more T-I-M-E in our lives, but thyme specifically for Taurus people, as an herb that you just put in your food, or fresh as much as you can, like from the garden or from a farmer's market, or as an essential oil to smell. Not desperate, but like, if you're just starting out, a little bit of golden seal. I just actually learned about this herb yesterday and got a little sample at my local herb supplier. But golden seal is awesome for clearing out respiratory issues, and since Taurus is fixed earth, there's a lot of heaviness associated with that, a lot of like congealed blockages and accumulations of things. So when we get respiratory tract issues, that phlegm. So if you're a super phlegmy person and have respiratory issues, a little bit of golden seal can help you out with that. It's just awesome for colds in general. So if you have like a regular head cold, I would get yourself some golden seal. Try that out. Research it. So rather than something to swallow, a practice that would be really awesome for people with heavy Taurus placements would be vagal toning, V-A-G-A-L toning, and it's not vaginal toning. You can do that on your own time, no judgment. Sometimes end of sentence. Vagal toning. Vagal toning is the vagus nerve, obviously, right? And where does it connect? All in the neck area from the spine down here. So that's why this tends to be the like bullshit central, homie. Because that vagus nerve clamps up when we feel threatened or under attack in some way, not heard. It's our defenses, shoulders go up, neck clamps down, breathing becomes difficult, digestion ceases. A lot of us walk around like this all the time. I know, I used to. Oh boy, and then I got my Pikachu, and all sunshine and rainbows and smiles. Hello. Yes, vagal toning, and you can do this by massaging your neck so if you keep your chin where it is, straight, eyes looking one direction, so all the way to the left in my case now, and then you slowly tilt your head to the left, right? And then you're gonna breathe, correct? And then you're gonna breathe into the right side here. So you don't wanna move your chin. Keep your chin straight so that you're getting that stretch in the neck, and just breathe into that side. Count to, 5 deep breaths in, out, and then come back up. And then you're gonna move just your eyes to the right, and then you're going to tilt your head to the right, and then you're going to take 5 or more deep breaths. And as you do that, I invite you to also make noise. Use your throat. On the exhales. Sitting down with your butt on the grass if you can, but just, hey, take it where you can get it. Sitting down with your tailbone firmly planted, and just making noise from the throat and the diaphragm is going to help you a lot. Singing is huge. People with a lot of Taurus placements are actually usually pretty awesome singers or musically inclined. But singing is going to help you. Chanting is going to help you. Saying things out loud. It doesn't have to be a song. You can literally just walk around singing what you say. Hey, I'm making a video here and it's going pretty great. Yeah. Anything. But singing is going to do wonders for people with Taurus, heavy Taurus placements. Okay, that's all 12. So now that I have completely healed the whole world and we're all joined hand in hand in this circle of harmony and bliss, I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. But I hope this helps you on your quest to heal your astrological wound.